I like to speak on a skateboarding crew. Zoo York, I've heard about them. There's two others. I mean, one other. If I grab your attention, that's an attention grabber, right? Is Lords of Dogtown, because they made a movie and it got into Hollywood. But no, secondly is I've been vlogging and I'm in this thing deep with people who look at me when I'm holding my camera out and talking to myself. It hurts because I've only had one person in an entire earth who I've talked to, and this was before an adult, where I could talk to them normally. And so I've been talking to myself normally on camera. And when people look at me, it's so diminishing because it's as though since I was a kid, I haven't talked normally, and now I am, and I'm looking if it's that one guy who I talk normally with. Not really, but in the back of my head, maybe. And subliminally, in America, a lot of things, which is why I'm born and what I've grown accustomed to, subliminal triggers. And if that's a point in anything, I'm trying to explain what isn't. Look at this QR code. If you can digitally hit something and it becomes a different thing digitally, this is like what I see as next generation, because in my day and age, there wasn't neither the internet or the ability to make an internet off of a material object that you see virtually everywhere. And this is what it means, virtual uh, generation in Larkin Seal Nexus. And there's these Jeeps that go around in my town. It's disgusting because Jeeps, I feel, are woke because they had the Biden inauguration commercialisms. And we can go into the colloquialisms later. But the important part is this guy left a duck inside of this door and he was parking near Jeeps with ducks. It's a rubber duck thing. They do it locally, but there's like these ducks that this person made in a video where this lady showed me, and then she was just like showing me what these Jeeps have. These snow-made ducks, and they kind of look like peeps. But this guy made like snow ducks, and he like was trying to show off for the other Jeeps. That I'm not saying like trading, because to me it is trading because they were doing this with other Jeeps. And this is why they have them on their dashboard to put themselves over. But Jeeps, I heard their back door with water leaks into it, and it is a malfunction. A required malfunction is necessary, but this stuff is over and beyond me. If this doesn't make sense, then the next reel might. It's where lobsters have hair on them, and I think crabs do too. It's just I've never ate crabs, so I don't know if lobsters would be in the same, because they look similar with hair. Crabs having hair would be what crud and crabs are. Enjoy the vlog. Reminded me of. Secondly, what adjuvant is, I had my pants go through the laundry machine with paper in them because I'm a writer. When it came out, it's this fine paper that was frailed but still put together. And I loved gathering myself because sometimes I'm not. So I'm trying to put this together in a dialogue without a pictorial. But wait, here's one. This the sensory of your feet having socks that also went through and caught all this paper on it. If you've never had wet feet, it isn't a good thing unless you're a duck, because then you would like it. But no, these flowers over here reminded me of, with the paper, it's already gone through the wash. So like I was saying, it's kind of frail, meaning if you've never made paper, when you're right in the middle of it drying and hardening into fruition like cement, it's in a state where it's of adjuvant because it can become another thing at a drop of the dime. So if you're putting your feet, having this paper on it, your feet getting wet with sweat, with what body odor is, or being wet in the rain, it's going to slowly but surely have an adjuvant become uh, optimized into a different thing. And this is really generalized. I understand that, but here's a different thing. With someone, this is why I don't like hands up, like for an extended period of time. People drinking their water bottle, people fixing their hair. I understand. I drink water and fix my hair, but it's when your shoulders in front of someone. I think it's rude. I'd do so good in England because they're so proper, or on TV they are. But with manners, one of the best well-mannered gentlemen. That's it. And so with these three paths, it's super generalized also. But yeah, crabs when you have like your elbows out. Usually I have my gesture that I do. Steel Worldwide does it, and he like points at his back. It's at the Chevrolet logo on his back, so he's pointing at it. So I copy it, but that's only if the back is towards the camera. If the camera's at the front side, so people in the front of you looking at this, and you can direct it towards people, but if they're in front of you, you're doing it backwards. It looks like a crab. So in crab-like features, the dynamics of their bodiments, they have those bend features, and that's what's prominent and what's off-putting also, because people aren't, but they can look like them. So if you remember where things are, you're going places in life. People can go through school and have a great time being A students, especially if they're really good at memorizing correlations. But then it's always in 30 to 40% of the criterion where you have to do deep think and relate not just what memory is. But nonetheless, just like a virus can multiply itself and configure it as one in the same as it's being a multiplicative of an endangerment to you, as horrific as that sounds, that's what people who are in dip thinking, they get used to being able to relate the criterion with not just memorization, but of a correlation of the memorization. It's a twofer. I know that I'm germophobic and I'm having a hard time getting past it, especially when there's people who I think have body odor and then they step on like, oh, I don't know, a thing. They put their back on a place. And so with the exchange of, oh, I don't know, it's in jail. I know this, people know this, not really, but put two and two together for this one. A hot lady, any lady, in a guy's jail sits down in a chair. She leaves the room, I don't know, because they have school inside jail. Schoolhouse Rock. This is Jailhouse Rock, something like this. Or this is my old school. I used to rap in it on talent shows. The Variety Acts. And so when this female would get up from the chair in jail, the people in jail, they haven't seen a female, so they run over and start sniffing the chair as if, you know, it has essences of estrogen in it. And this is a crude example. I know it's not something that's palatable, but believe me, this has all to do with what fermions. This is what is a stink that animals have, but then if you're relating it to like what humans are of, I have a phobia of germophobic, so I don't want to be sat in a place right when someone gets up from it and they've acquainted themselves there. And I'm getting over this. I'm trying to really try my hardest to. Especially when I know that what's been accepted, the bar's being raised with whatever that might mean. When it comes to if you're a baby and you get born in the United States, you have a laundry list of sedatives that they give you. And I know I'm speaking loosely because it gets more rash. That was a briefing for the rashness. Is that they're now saying that these sedatives are under emergency acts now being distributed to and or prompted as everyone has to get more of them, even if they're not a baby being born. And so we're putting two and two together. It's getting harder and harder to not have something artificial in you. And this is what your body doesn't want. This is what a virus is. It's an artificial dynamic. It's an acquired trait. It gets in your brain. Some of them want to get in your brain. And I don't want to speak on the brain because I don't give health advice. Walking in the rain vlogging. Don't listen to the guy giving health advice if he's doing what I am pertaining to. For my next example, I would like to detail what is... Shoot, I forgot my first example. Dead air. Let's admire this rain. Shit. And so it's crab-like to, crabs, also lobsters, they have hair underwater. Why? That has a whole inference of cilia. Cilia is really closely to what adjuvant is. It's just you have to know one thing and another, the difference of the two. Cilia versus adjuvant is like, is a circuit broken, or is it not set up yet, or is it not closed?